So I'm studying John chapter 3, verses 19 through 21. And John says this is the verdict: light has come into the world, but people love darkness instead of the light because their deeds were evil. And in this case, the word evil in the Greek, it means wicked. It's a Greek word poneros. It means to make someone's life harder than it has to be. A wicked person creates toil for others. So someone who robs a bank, somebody is going to have to pay for that, or somebody vandalizes something or whatever, that there's a wickedness there that makes life harder for other people. And then he goes on in verse 20, he says, everyone who does evil hates the light and will not come into the light for fear that their deeds will be exposed. What's interesting here is that the word for evil actually connotes the idea of easy, something taking the easy way out, taking a shortcut, morally speaking. It's strange that John, he's using evil in the exact same way, but he chooses a different word. And then he goes on in verse 19 and verse 21, and he says, but whoever lives by the truth comes into the light, so that it may be seen plainly that what they have done has been done in the sight of God, or in God, literally. And here, the opposite of evil, both kinds of evil, is that which is true, or that which is done in the truth. What does all this mean? Well, let me give you an example. Let's suppose that you buy a car and it's a lemon, and the person that sold you that car, they knew it was a lemon. Well, that person just made your life harder. They did something that was wicked. They perpetrated evil on you, and they did it in secret. They did it in darkness. They wouldn't want that to be discovered or made known widely. Now, what are you going to do? Because now your life is harder. You've got a junker car that maybe it doesn't get you around, or it keeps costing you money to fix, and you need to offload it. Well, you could take the easy way, and that's that other word for evil. You could offload it to somebody else. You could misrepresent it just like somebody did to you, and that'll make your life easier. You can move that toil down the line and give it to somebody else. You will take the easy way. And according to John, then that is also evil. That is also something that what is easy for me as a perpetrator is wicked for the victim, the person who's receiving it. They're receiving wickedness as I take the easy way. And so John is talking about how when Jesus came into the world and he's the light, that this behavior is something that's being exposed. Now, most people would probably do this sort of a thing. They wouldn't think anything about it. They're just going to offload that toil onto somebody else. And yet that's the kind of evil that Jesus came to set us free from. It's not just these moral constraints or this religiosity. It's just being decent, doing things well, alleviating the overall burden in life. And so the alternative to this dynamic between wickedness and taking the easy way out is truth. And I have these prayer hands because he says that the one who behaves in truth, they come into the light because they want it to be known that what they've done has been done by God. And I'll tell you that if you decide to go the road of truth, you're going to absorb a lot of evil, and you're going to avoid a lot of solutions, as the world would call it. And so how is that going to work out in your life? Well, it's going to work out because God's going to make it work out. And that is the why, that is the reason that we need Jesus. We need a Savior because we need somebody to take all of that toil that the world has been passing around, and it can stop with us, and we can give it to him. And so we disclose everything about the car and we sell it for less, or we keep it and we just keep trying to fix it. But God's going to make up the difference, and that's something worth showing off. That's something worth coming to the light over. And that's what John 3:19 through 21 is about.